Good morning. Before we get into today's update, I want to give you a quick synopsis of what to expect. First, we need to get into the XRP daily technical analysis as the futures market will come back online today at about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means gold, silver, the DXY, and everything will be back online. We have to take a look at XRP because it continues to sit below a very critical resistance / support line at 0.377. As this morning we set at about 0.376. Last night we made a dip down to about the 369 level. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll look at the nearest resistance and supports, as I call them S1 and R1. So S1, S2, S3. I'll give you the nearest three this morning, just so you can get off right on the trading weekend for the futures opening up and on the trading weekend properly. Also, we need to take a look at Bitcoin and see where it looks and see how it plays out with XRP. Make sure to hit that like button, as it really does help push me through the analytics, and I cannot thank you all enough for hitting that like button. Please hit that like button, as it really will help me out on this Sunday morning. Good morning. It's Sunday, February 26, 2023 at 8:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So the other thing that I wanted to just briefly discuss that'll be in the open real quick is an article I'm going to read to all of you after I look at the XRP technical analysis. A government watchdog supports Ripple's assertion that the Hinman documents should be released. So that's a pretty interesting article as well. So let's get into the charts now. So as we can see, XRP currently sits at 0.3760, well, 3763 on this XRP USD chart. Currently, I'm going to show you the R2, or the R1, R2, R3, S1, S2, S3. So R is resistance, S is support in my community. This downtrending resistance line right here, this blue line, that is actually the falling channel resistance. So falling channel resistance there, and down here, as you can see where the arrow is, downtrending support, which is actually the falling channel support. So right now we've got resistance at 377 approximately. We've got resistance 2 at 386, resistance 3 at approximately 40 cents up here. On support 1, we've got 362, and then support 2, we've got 352. And then you can come all the way down here to the 348. So those are the three nearest supports in the area. Our main things this morning, though, is are we going to break back above 377? Is this a small W reversal? Or is this a fake out? And this bear flag is just going to continue beating us down as we're below the 20-day. And if you see us below the 377 level, that's very big resistance. So that would be very bad. And this would be like a right arm, essentially. And then it would come down first to 362, then 352. And then ultimately you could hit this uptrend at about actually it's 346. I like that a lot better. So that's what you're looking at for S1, S2, S3. And then like I said, resistance 1 is 377, resistance 2 is 386, resistance 3 is right up here around 40 cents. You could actually say today, for the first time, that this falling channel is down to about 39. Let's go back to Sunday. So now we're still gonna say, we'll still use 40 cents. Still use 40 cents. So that's the falling channel. It's continued to stay at play. We haven't invalidated it at all. And the falling channel support we haven't invalidated either. So we need to break either above it or below it to try to figure out exactly which way this pattern's going to go. But right now that's the tight section as we talked about yesterday. Your range right now is about 352 all the way up to 40 cents. So that's a pretty nice range indeed. So that's what we're looking at. If we take this into a bigger picture, you can see the much larger pattern that is forming. But it's much easier to see if we go to the USDTP chart. And that's the perpetual futures. That is the descending triangle resistance. And we need to get above 40 cents to break out of this pattern to continue up. Otherwise, there is a chance that if we go to the bottom of this formation, it's down to 12 cents. And that would be the December 2020 low, when the lawsuit was announced, all the way back down at about that 12 cents. And that's where I believe XRP is going to eventually double bottom down to. But it takes a long time, and it's been a very, very long wait. If we look at the all-time XRP chart, and this is my favorite chart to look at, let's take it down into go into the weekly. Now, if we look at this in the weekly, this is the all-time chart. So you can see the formations above and below. But the uptrending support here, this goes all the way back here to 2020. If you go back to the further uptrend down here, this is 2017, and the one down here is 2013. So what we're looking for in the immediate short term is the break. Now that we've come over here about the 335 level as support, you break that, the next uptrending support going back to 2017 is around 18 cents, 18.9. And then if you go back all the way to 2013, that's when you can get down to the 1 or 1.5 cent XRP. It's not to scare anybody, but that's to show everybody the grand pattern is there, and we've got grand plans, especially if it breaks out in either of these two levels. And then if it were to break out here, just to give you an inclination, this is about September of 2025, May of 2025, we say it breaks up, and then it consolidates into December of 2025, and then it breaks way up. So that's all the way out in 2025, so still got a ways to go before we do this. But it doesn't mean that it can't break out sooner, but this just means that this is what I'm looking at. It's somewhere around this range when we start to meet these moments. So what do I anticipate? It's probably something like this first. So we'll see. We'll see exactly how this plays out and how accurate that plays. Bitcoin USD. We're still trapped right now, ladies and gentlemen. Not much more we can do here until we figure out a direction with Bitcoin. We still have this uptrending resistance that we broke, which makes it very bearish. And now our next level is, assuming we can't get back over 24,000, our next level should be 21,965, around that 22K. And then if that support doesn't hold, then we have 20,965, 20,413. And then the multi-year trend line, this downtrending support at 19,250 approximately. If we were to break up, we need to break 24,000 and then ultimately 25,194 to try to push up to the broken bull flag up here at 26,666. But that right now seems far-fetched, as we are being rejected in the 3-hour time frame by the 200-day, it looks like. And we're about to have we've already had a death cross on Bitcoin in the 2-hour. We're approaching a death cross in the 3-hour on Bitcoin. And if you look at that with XRP, we've already committed a death cross. It looks a little different than Bitcoin, though, because of the way it's set up. But we're looking very bearish. The 2 hours being rejected by the 20-day. 3 hours being rejected by the 20-day. The 4-hour is being rejected possibly by the 20-day. But we wouldn't know that until it comes up and gets a firm rejection. Or we let a few more candles come down and push it down a little bit more. As in 2 hours and 33 minutes, if this stays like this, the moving average is going to go farther down. So now that we've seen all of that, let's take a look at this article I aforementioned. And make sure that like button is now your technical analysis. You understand what's happening on this Sunday morning. So I'm going to read this, and then I'll release this to you so we can get a quick update. Ripple vs. SEC Government Watchdog supports motion to unseal Hinman docs. Forbes journalist Dr. Rosalind Layton is receiving support for a motion to intervene in the lawsuit between Ripple Labs and Securities Exchange Commission SEC seeking public access to the Hinman speech documents. Empower Oversight Whistleblowers and Research Empower has expressed its support for the motion. Empower is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization that works to improve independent oversight of government and corporate misconduct. Its mission is to help insiders document and report corruption to the appropriate authorities. Importance of the Hinman documents in the Ripple case, for anybody who doesn't know. So he supports the motion to unseal the Hinman documents related to SEC conflicts of interest in cryptocurrencies. In a press release, Foster stated that the public cryptocurrency and it deserves answers from the SEC about what exactly the agency knew about Hinman's speech and when it knew it. The SEC has consistently stonewalled any attempt from public interest transparency organizations, including Empower Oversight, to shine a light on conflicts of interest and ethical questions at the agency. The statement goes on to say that Empower has been ignored by the U.S. agency since August 2021. At that time, the government watchdog made a request, which is still the subject of an ongoing Freedom of Information Act FOIA lawsuit against the SEC. And then last October, Empower Oversight filed its opposition to the SEC's motion for summary judgment in the FOIA lawsuit over documents related to conflicts of interest and selective enforcement in cryptocurrency cases. In December, the organizer also filed a records request with the SEC seeking full records of communications with a list of names. So, and then thus Empower's interest aligns with the interest of Dr. Rosalind Layton, who argues that the Ripple case against the SEC will decide the future of cryptocurrency in the United States. According to Dr. Layton, The case will serve as a legal referendum on the SEC's entire system of regulation by enforcement for the industry, which is why the public has a legitimate interest in the Hinman documents. And this is something I've said from the beginning. So, and then in a new development, in Dr. Layton's motion to intervene, pro-XRP attorney James Phelan announced in a tweet on February 22nd that an amended motion to intervene had been filed. Dr. Layton's original motion suggested that the SEC had offered the Hinman speech documents in support of its own summary judgment motion, which was not the case to that extent. The motion had to be amended on formal grounds to preserve the chance of being granted by the U.S. Southern District Court of New York judge. So I find that very interesting. It's very good information. Make sure to hit that like button. If you want to trade like I do, use the exchanges I do, whether BitGet and or MEXC. Link in the video description below and in the pinned comments. Also, make sure to join Tom's Army. You can get a new feel. I'm going to show you for the first time of what I've done. So I did Tom's Army 2.0. Right now, 97 people in here. They're joining one by one each day as they show interest. And we'll eventually have 200 members in here again like we did in the other one. But we have terminology. Thanks, Mr. Carter. I appreciate that. We go through. You start at the top. We go through terminology. And we started with, and it goes based on what I'm doing in my updates. So we started with the uptrending support, have a few examples. Then we went into falling channel with a few examples. Then we went into W reversal. And we have support, resistance also being taught in here with different examples. Doing this every single day. I do the XRP daily setup when you first get up. You can look at this when I get up. We have charts shared by all members. We have content links for my content. We have gold, silver report as well. Did a nice breakdown of gold and silver and did the ratios at the end of the week on Friday, as that'll be a new evolving thing. XCC versus Ripple XRP lawsuit information, as we've got a growing section here, which is fantastic as I put information as I find it. SCC versus Ripple. We got futures trades. I only put one out so far. Did a little poll, showed everybody when to buy, when to sell, but we made 13.09%. And then XRP spot trading is where we'll get when we start buying in again at the bottom. If you want to join Tom's Army, if you want to be a part of this Tom's Army 2.0, this is the only time I'm showing this in the month of February. So you either seen it today or you won't see it until March at some point. Stay blessed, everybody. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag FUD Assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, what the hell is the point?